Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and as you guys can see, this is going to be a review on a new knife that I just got. This is the Cold Steel Mini Tuff Lite. Now, I actually caught a review on this knife a couple weeks ago from a fellow YouTuber here that goes by the name of The Late Boy Scout. And once I saw that review, I got pretty interested in it. I hadn't really seen this knife before. So I figured I'd go ahead and order it, and I had a specific purpose behind ordering this knife. I was looking at some of the dimensions, and I actually wanted to look at a backup knife. Now I'm a big believer in carrying a primary blade and a secondary blade, so pretty much always carrying at least two blades. And generally it's going to be something big and then something a little bit smaller for your more random daily tasks. So this is what's going to fit that bill, the smaller daily tasks. So here it is. Obviously it comes in the cold steel box like a lot of the knives do, and this actually is sporting the triad lock on it as well, so I thought that was pretty cool. So let me go ahead and open the box up so you guys can see. It's actually a lot smaller, and it's funny because if you read the descriptions, until you get it in hand is when you realize the size of the actual knife. Now it does come in this bubble wrap, and here is the knife itself. Now, if you guys know, I normally carry a Spyderco Ladybug as my secondary kind of everyday random task knife. So I was pretty glad when I got this to see of the size of it, because I didn't want to go with something too much bigger than the Ladybug was. So a couple of specs on this knife. This is actually sporting a 2-inch blade, and as you guys can see there, it's kind of like a Warncliffe style blade. It's pretty nice. It's AUS 8 steel, and the one thing that I did like about it is that deep finger choil that they give you, because it lets you actually choke up on the blade when you're doing a lot of the cutting tasks. So that was pretty nice. Again, it does have the triad lock, and this locks up very, very nice, very sturdy, no blade play whatsoever. Now there is a couple of different machining in the back here that serves to lock your finger in there, or your thumb if you're doing some pretty heavy cutting and stuff like that. The weight on this is about 1.7 ounces, so it's very, very lightweight, and it's got to do with the grivery handles that it comes with. The handles themselves are 3 inches long, and then you get about a 2-inch blade, so that's a 5-inch overall length on the knife itself. So it's a very, very small knife. As you guys can see there, I get a really good purchase if I choke up on the blade all the way up to the finger choil there. So I get a full 4-finger purchase on the blade there. If I do want to come back a little bit, then that gives me about almost a 3-finger. But again, it's not as ergonomic as you would want. You don't have a lot of handle on the blade, so you're pretty much always going to be holding the blade in this fashion right there. So you'll always have that that good purchase on the blade there. Now the deployment on the blade is made by this cutout on there, and they cut out the handle back, so you get a lot of good purchase on there. It's not difficult at all to open it up, and because it's not a thumb stud, it's more of a hole. You can do it both left-handed and right-handed, so that's pretty nice. Now, the pocket clip is pretty nice. It's very, very stiff, which is good, but it's not too bad where you're going to have to slip it in and out of the pocket. And because the grivery on here is very smooth, it won't eat up at your pants. The only drawback is that it's only tip down right-handed carry, so that's pretty much it. You can't switch that pocket clip to the left hand or the right hand, or to right hand tip up carry. But again, since this isn't going to be a knife that you're going to have to deploy in quick speeds, that pretty much it doesn't make a big difference on there. Now what's cool about that also is that instead of doing just a regular lanyard hole, they made this a lot longer and a lot wider of a hole, so that gives you a lot of different carry options. So if you wanted to put a lanyard on there, to give you a little bit extra grip to hang on to the handle, then that's cool too. But you can also maybe put a carabiner through there. So if you wanted to hang this on the outside of a backpack, if you wanted to put maybe some 550 cord and hang it around your neck, you could do that too. Or it's thin enough to where if you wanted to do a split ring and hang it on a keychain, you could do so as well. Again, at 1.7 ounces, it really doesn't weigh that much, so you could get away with doing that. Now I want to go ahead, since I did speak about it, I want to roll in a Spyderco Ladybug in here, and this is the one with the racing green handle and the ZDP 189 blade. And just, you know, for size comparison, actually let's do a close comparison first. So obviously it's going to be a little bit bigger than the Ladybug, as you guys can see there, but obviously this is going to be for somebody that maybe finds a Ladybug to be just too small, because again, I'll give you an example. You know, once you have it open, you know, even if you choke up on the blade right there, you're never going to get more than just a 3-finger purchase on it. So, you know, obviously if somebody has bigger hands, then, you know, the mini Tuff Lite will come a little bit more in handy. So the blade, as you guys can see, the length on the blade is very similar, but obviously the shape of the blade itself, you know, since this is more of a straight kind of Wharncliffe style, is going to be you know, more dependent on what you're going to be using for. It's great for opening up boxes, opening up envelopes. You know, if you're going to chop something, you know, that makes it a really good blade for that. And it does end in this very, very pointy point there. So if you're going to pierce something, it's good for that also. So here's the comparison in the open length there. And then obviously a lot of the times, because this doesn't have a pocket clip, it makes it really nice if you're going to drop it into your pocket. But you know, people find it that without the pocket clip and how thin the handle is, it makes it a lot easier to hold on to. So obviously, as you guys can see there, you get a lot more width to the handle of the mini Tuff Lite than you would on the Ladybug. The width on the blade itself is actually going to be a lot wider as well too. So you know, even though this one is going to disappear into a pocket, you know, you do have the options to clip this in a pocket, or if you're going to have to use maybe a little bit heavier usage of the mini Tuff Lite, you can get away with it. The cool thing is also they do offer this in a fully serrated blade as well. And you know, you're not talking about, you know, something that's going to break the bank. As a backup knife, I think you can find these anywhere from $20 to $30, maybe $20 to $25, just depending on where you shop around. So, you know, if and then you do get the obviously the Cold Steel name behind it. You know, you're getting the that triad lock, which they're known for their great lockup and you know, just stiffness on there. So, you know, you can't go wrong with that. So again, I kind of wanted to show you guys that. It's definitely a good idea if you're going to need, like I said, a backup blade for everyday carry, or even if you need something just to clip onto a backpack, maybe a bailout bag or something like that. You know, keep it sharp and you know, it's ready to go. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.